Good afternoon, everybody. This is Jim Cahill. Thank you for joining us today. We have some great news about SiteLINK, and we want to share that with you. As you can see from the screen, we have some of our SiteLINK experts here, Jason Brandt and Carmen Manganello. In addition to Jason and Carmen, we also have James Classic, our Director of Customer Success, and Ino Wano, our Director of Product Management. And we've brought everyone together today to really provide you with the best possible update about what is in SiteLINK right now and what we're planning for SiteLINK in the future. And just a few notes for the broadcast itself. At any time you can put questions into the question panel. We will be answering them at the conclusion of the presentation. And we look forward to hearing some great questions from you. And not just about the content that you're seeing today, but also if you put questions in the panel for things that you'd like for the future, things that you're looking forward to, things that would help to impact your business and improve your business. We're really looking forward to that as well. So today we're going to cover a lot. We'll be talking next about the development approach that we're using for SiteLINK. We'll cover all the information that was sent to you, all of you, in the recent SiteLINK email campaign. We'll be talking about new SiteLINK features. And as I said before, what's probably most important is we'll be talking about what you need to run your business better. At the conclusion, we'll talk about some next steps and give you some more information and resources. And as I mentioned before, we'll be answering your questions. So about the development approach, here's what we like to do. And it really comes from what we've been doing all along for the past few years with Mom. We're going to be using the same really basic approach because it's worked well for all of our customers. So of course, we want to tell you what's going on at any given time. We want this to be an interactive conversation. And I think for about the third time now, I'm going to mention that we want to hear from you. What you need in terms of features and functionality, that's great and that's extremely important. But from a larger perspective, what you need to run your business better. And what we're very much conscious of is we have a responsibility to you, our customers, to give you more opportunities to improve revenue and to make the process of using SiteLINK and fulfilling orders easier than ever before. Much of that will reside with what you're hearing today about SiteLINK itself. But if you're thinking about how SiteLINK could connect better with Mom in the future, we encourage you to mention that too, because Mom and SiteLINK together is a complete package, and we're very focused on giving you the best possible delivery and processes and features. And the intersection of those two goals is how we're going to help you increase revenue. We've talked about the development method itself. It is customer-centric, and as we've said many times before, but more focused on Mom. What that means to us is not for us to bear the sole burden of suggesting improvements or new features. We recognize our responsibility for that, but we do also recognize that it's just important for us to be paying attention to what you're saying and what you need. And that's what we mean by customer-centric. So the opportunities for you to give us input, today's a start. We've been in conversation with so many of you over the past few years. We pledge to continue to do that, but if we could view this as the start of the conversation for the next version of SiteLINK, we'll certainly present to you what's in store. But really, the biggest payback for everyone is your continued participation. We thank you very much for that, and we look forward to more of it in the future. And what we're really pointed to explaining to you today is the new version of SiteLINK that will be coming out next year. We'll be showing you and talking to you about that, and the team will take it in just a short minute from here. But that's really what we're focused on, what's coming up and what's going next. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to our team and introduce you to Jason Brandt, who will be taking the presentation, really taking the bulk of the presentation going forward. Jason?
Thank you, Jim, and good afternoon to everyone. As you may know, this summer, we launched a 4-part series to highlight some key features and available customizations for SiteLINK. The reason for this campaign was to increase visibility around SiteLINK itself and some of its lesser-known features. Our goal was to be transparent about ongoing development for SiteLINK over the years. Through this campaign, we discovered our customers are often very busy running day-to-day, leaving little time to explore the new features as they became available. The feedback to this campaign has been overwhelmingly positive, generating most interest in features that are beneficial for the upcoming busy season. In case you missed it, let's take a brief look at some of these features we highlighted in the campaign. So the campaign covered key features already available in SiteLink, as well as little known customizations that have had a big impact over customers who have them. At the top of the list of key features is SiteLink's responsive template, the latest version of responsive template that creates a seamless presentation of your site for shoppers across desktop and mobile. As another part of presentation, the rotating banner on your site can be managed from SiteLINK admin, where you can add the links and images and change them as needed. You may have been managing product reviews already, but the ability to reply to reviews was added. Moving on to pick up in store, this feature could benefit you in saving shipping costs if your customers are local. Setup is easy. Pickup locations can be set as retail locations or even warehouses if you'd like. Something especially useful year-round is the email campaign link feature. This is something that's been available across all the versions of SiteLink. With this feature in SiteLink admin, you can create a link and add it to your marketing email. This will bring your shopper directly to any page on the site you want with a discount code already applied. Moving down to SiteLink users, today in MOM, user access is set up by ID and permissions are set based on the job functions of that user. For example, customer service may not need the ability to manage the company credit card account information, right? The SiteLink user feature does the same and is set up in SiteLink admin. For example, a seasonal customer service employee might need to download orders and review orders in SiteLink admin. And in that case, you may not want to give them access to modify content on the site or review your historical sales figures. To talk a little bit over the available customizations, I'll turn it over to our Senior Technical Project Manager of Web Development, Carmen Manganello.
Thanks, Jason. Call center and gift registry are two customizations that have been around for a while, but still have value for businesses depending on their needs. We wanted to highlight these again and let customers know that they're available. Another customization we wanted to highlight is wholesale segregation. For businesses that have distinct requirements for wholesale shoppers, we can customize pricing displays, segregate retail and wholesale specific departments and products, and even add restrictions around registration on the site. We also wanted to mention some newer customizations that we've been doing lately, like an alternate multi-ship checkout flow that defaults toward gift giving by streamlining the checkout process, and Google address validation. For those that have ACVM and MOM, we haven't offered an equivalent address validation in SiteLink, but we wanted to make sure that you're aware that we can integrate this third-party tool to fill that need.
Thanks, Carmen. Useful to know about some of these customizations that have been around a while. If you all have any questions on what we just discussed, detailed documentation can be found in our knowledge base. And at the end of this presentation, we'll provide you with some links to the knowledge base and the website post that recaps this campaign. Looking ahead, the same feedback you've given us that you've given us for these features has helped shape our vision for the next version of SiteLink. The feedback comes by way of support tickets, professional service requests, development research, and external inputs, such as the e-commerce trends. On a high level, this led us to focus on the following areas. As you can see, design, usability, marketing, customer engagement, business intelligence, and security. Let's go into each of these areas and explore some of the highlights we planned for the initial release of SiteLink next year. Under design and usability, again, what tops the list relates to the responsive template. Carmen, can you tell us a little bit more about plans around the responsive template?
Thanks, Jason. We offer one responsive template as standard in the latest version of SiteLink. If design changes are needed beyond what's offered in that template, it requires customization either by our professional services team or your own developer via FTP access to your store. For the new version of SiteLink, we'd like to offer the option at the onset for a choice of several different responsive templates. Having multiple templates to choose from will offer more choices out of the box and design options that better fit different business needs without requiring customization.
All right, thanks, Carmen. As many of you know, responsive design is really important as consumers shift toward mobile as the primary source for shopping. Industry stats point to 70% of orders being placed on mobile today, So if your shopper is already familiar with navigating your desktop site, the responsive design creates a seamless experience. It allows them to easily navigate on the go and leads to increased sales. So if you aren't currently on a responsive template, you're at a huge disadvantage to both your shoppers and competitors. Moving on, and while on the topic of mobile, Google address validation is helpful for both mobile and desktop presentations of the site. So this essentially provides an autocomplete of addresses when entering billing and shipping information. And once again, this is in response to requests we've had for address validation. So Carmen, can you tell us a little bit about the next two items, Google Analytics and ADA?
Currently, we do integrate G4 for clients by request, but because Google Analytics is currently installed on the front end of SiteLink websites, we have to address these requests on a site-by-site basis. For the next version of SiteLink, we plan to build it into the back end. Future code updates to Google Analytics tracking can be rolled out globally, replacing the need to make changes on a site-by-site basis. We'll be able to deliver changes and benefits for all customers at the same time. Next, we have ADA accessibility. One of the best practices for ADA compliance is to populate the alt text for images. By the way, the alt text is necessary for screen readers. Currently, we offer the ability to control these tags for the department and main product images. For the new version of SiteLink, we will offer the ability to edit alt tags for 8 additional product images on the product page.
Right, thanks again, Carmen. Let's talk about setting the department sort order. So currently on SiteLink, as your shoppers navigate and they see the products under a particular department, they have the option to sort low to high, A to Z, by popularity, etc. This new feature will give you the flexibility to set the sort order for each department individually. This allows you greater control to list the products you want front and center. We'll touch on this again in a later slide. Next up, we have customizable text on customer-facing emails, a mouthful. Right now, you're familiar with the SiteLink order confirmation email. In SiteLink admin, you can modify its content, change the messaging as needed. Later in this presentation, we'll talk about some additional customer-facing email features. But for each of these new emails, we'll include the same ability to manage the text from SiteLink admin. The benefit here is the ability to manage the messaging to your shoppers. For example, shipping delays, update the order confirmation to say so, minimize customer service calls. Carmen, could you tell us a little bit about the next item, managing static pages?
Thanks, Jason. In all existing versions of SiteLink, we offer the ability to edit static content pages using an HTML editor in SiteLink admin. Several of the current content pages that can be edited include About Us, Contact Us, Return Policy, just to name a few. But if additional content pages are needed, it requires customization. In next version, we'll offer you the ability to add an additional 3 to 5 static content pages. These could be used to describe a special seasonal promo or special events, for example. If additional pages are needed, you'll be able to add and edit those through SiteLink admin per your needs.
Going back to emails, could you tell us about those additional customer-facing emails we have planned?
Sure. Abandoned cart emails are one of the new marketing tools which will allow re-engagement of customers after abandoning an order to help increase conversions. A new reporting tool in SiteLink admin will provide the ability to track those conversions from those emails. Back in stock notifications allow the shopper the ability to opt in to be notified via email when an out-of-stock product is back in stock.
For that. And as a reminder, each of these emails will allow you to edit them directly from admin. So you're running a current sale, update all your emails to advertise that sale. You want to offer your abandoned cart shoppers a specific discount code just this week, you can do that too. So another benefit for the shopper is going to be the saved cart functionality. This allows the shopper to save the cart contents to their account and resume the order later. Not only can they resume the order later, they can do it by logging back into their account from any other device and pick up where they left off. But I think we have something similar to this today. So Carmen, how's that different?
That's correct. SiteLink persistent cart functionality saves the cart contents to the browser from that specific ordering session. Those order details are only available on that specific browser and cannot be restored to different browsers or different devices. To summarize that, what's different here is saved carts will save order line items to the shopper account and that will be available to the shopper on any device after they log in, not just the browser from that specific ordering session.
Thanks for that. And speaking of convenience, the new version will also introduce 2 new payment options at checkout. We'll have Google Pay and the ability to use card on file. So as you know, with both options, the shopper can check out with ease and no longer requires them to enter their credit card information directly, and no more losing the order when someone goes to find their credit card and forgets to come back. So next up, we have product labels. So today, a product is labeled in SiteLink with a visible tag as a sale item if it meets conditions such as special pricing or reflects a discount. The new version will add the ability to label products as new or clearance as well. This will be done with a single click on the product level in MOM. The product labels will tie right into the ability to set how departments are sorted by default. So now you can set Department A to sort showing clearance items first. Department B can be set to show new items first. Department C can show low to high, while Department D shows sale items first. All at the same time, of course, each department, across each department. So once again, it allows you the flexibility to choose what products you want front and center for your shops while they navigate the site. Google Analytics comes up again under marketing here. So anything else to add to that, Carmen?
We've always offered a standard implementation of Google Analytics in the SiteLink, but these were always front-end integrations. That's made it difficult to release updates for new versions of analytics in the past, requiring our client base to request changes individually. I mentioned this previously, but I want to reiterate. This time around, we want to move the integration to the back end, which saves us from having to update stores on a site-by-site basis. When new versions of Google Analytics are released, we'll be able to make global updates instead.
Thanks. This is great. Easy for us, easier for you. So Google Analytics, as you know, provides valuable insight into your shopper's behavior, something to look into if you're not already using it. And this leads us into some other business intelligence features we have coming up. Covering business intelligence and security, we'll start with the management dashboard. This offers valuable insights into the current state of business, enabling managers to review performance and identify actionable steps to drive growth on the site. As Carmen mentioned earlier, the abandoned cart email feature comes with an abandoned cart email report available in SiteLink Admin. So not only will you be able to re-engage your shoppers, you'll be able to use the report to quantify how well these efforts are working for the business. Now, the search terms report. This helps you learn what words your shoppers are using to search for products on the site. It'll allow you to tailor product recommendations and search results based off the search terms your shoppers are actually using. So are they searching for this thing with 1 T instead of 2 or 2 instead of 1? Now you'll know. Rounding off the list of new features, we have some additional security-related updates centered around the SiteLink admin and its access. So when it comes to access, there's a principle of least privilege. Now that concept states that users should only have access to the minimum amount of data, resources, and applications needed to perform their job. So once again, SiteLink currently has the ability to set up individual users and logins in SiteLink admin with limited access to the many controls there. So as an additional layer of security, we'll have multi-factor authentication available, allowing you to authenticate your login by a code sent to your mobile device by text. We'll offer an ability to whitelist IP addresses who have access to SiteLink admin, limiting exposure and minimizing risks to SiteLink admin. So if you want to make sure your access is limited to your office network, you'll be able to set that up in admin. Finally, we'll make an admin changelog available. So this will capture any changes in admin and identify them by user ID and the timestamp. There's some of the highlights we have planned for the initial release of SiteLink next year. As a reminder, we'll continue to add features following a similar model to MOM's dot releases and with announcement. As we continue development, we're interested to hear what's on your wish list and your valued input on the features we discussed today. So we'll include a survey link sent with a follow-up email for this webinar, which should send out tomorrow. So moving on, what's next? Target release date for SiteLink is Q3 2025, and we'll look to schedule more webinars throughout the year to show you some of our new features as they're available and take some additional feedback from you on those and other features. We're really excited about this upcoming SiteLink release, and your participation by way of feedback will be super important to helping shape SiteLink's future. So I want to thank you for joining us to take this sneak peek at some of the features we have planned for its initial release. We'll take a moment at the end to cover some questions that were put in the panel during the webinar. At the moment, I'll hand it over to James to make a few important announcements.
Thank you, Jason. Not to take too much time from this webinar, just wanted to give this group some updates. The first one is we launched our payment processing solution called Freestyle Payments. So this was designed to make your payment processing easier and more cost effective. What we did is we partnered with our sister company, CSI Pay, and we're leveraging volume discount through our parent company, Constellation Software. So that way we could offer our clients some competitive rates. So if you're interested in that, definitely let us know. The other one is we recently launched this year's Ultimate E-commerce ebook. As you know, this is a resource packed with actionable insight and strategies to help you navigate through the busy holiday season. Whether you're looking to boost sales, optimize customer experience, or stay ahead of market trends, the ebook covers it all. It's a must read for any business looking to maximize its e-commerce potential. So be on the lookout for that. And last but not least, we also rolled out our client portal. It's been a project for a couple of years, but we're excited that it's officially been rolled out. Right now, it provides you easy access to your support tickets, making it simple to stay up to date with any issues or requests. This is just the beginning. We're also looking at project updates, invoicing, and other important information to be housed in our client portal. So if you didn't receive your invitation yet, please let us know so that way we could send that out immediately. Take it away, Jason.
Thanks, James. Bear with us a few moments while we look over the questions posted during the webinar. Take a look over those and start to give some answers.
While the team is going through the questions, this is Jim Cahill. I just wanted to encourage you that you still have time to put questions into the question panel, and I would encourage you to do that. And if for some reason, and this happens a lot to all of us, if you think of some questions after the webinar is over, please feel free to use the resources that the email address that we have. And guys, if you could bring up the next slide, which has the resources on it, including the email address for questions. Thank you. Great. So as you can see, you can use the very first email address, the contact email for SiteLINK. You can use that for questions. There's some other resources there as well about the SiteLINK campaign that Jason went over the past few weeks. You can use that link to get to the list of features. Certainly, there's great information in the knowledge base. And of course, you can always turn to our YouTube channel. There's a lot of great webinars and product videos on there. For SiteLINK, this webinar will be loaded to the YouTube channel. You will also receive a link to the webinar recording tomorrow via email. But there's a tremendous amount of resources on our YouTube channel about SiteLINK and all of our products. So please continue to use it as a resource. And thank you. I can see that more questions are coming in, and we'll be getting to those in just a moment. I'll ask the team to come back on in just a moment to pick, to start answering some of the questions.
Apple Pay, that is on our list, maybe for a future release, but Google Pay is there for the current. Apple Pay we see is becoming a lot more popular, and saw that they were going to add support for it in Google Chrome. Right now it's just available for Safari.
Hey, Jason, if I could add to that, at the beginning of the webinar, we mentioned that about our development path. And much like Mom, when the new version comes out, that will not be the end of it. We will continue to release new functionality post the release of the new version. And as Jason mentioned, that we're looking at it for the future. So if any of the features that you're talking about or putting questions into the panel for are not part of the initial release, we would look forward to bringing them out shortly thereafter. We'll have more information about, of course, the initial release of the new version, and then the subsequent releases after that. So thank you for that. And Jason, why don't you go to the next question?
So next question, can the product labels be customized, look and feel of new and clearance? And there's a second question here also related to product labels about additional product labels being able to be created? And the short answer to that is yes, but it will require customization. Any customized look and feel of anything could be done, but that's something we'd have to do kind of after the fact.
Thanks, Carmen. We've got a question here about the responsive template. So the question is, will I be able to switch between the templates if I want? The way it's structured is that you'll start off with that template, and if you'd like to switch, that would currently be professional services engagement or custom work as you may know it today.
And Jason, thank you. Just a thought about what our team is focused on with responsive design and responsive templates. And just want to continue to emphasize the advantage to your business about using a responsive template. All the data, as Jason mentioned before, and is commonly available in the industry, points to the prevalence of online sales or orders being taken over a phone or a tablet, but principally phones. And having a responsive tablet is such an advantage. And of course, the inverse of that is not having a responsive template hurts your business, or can certainly hurt your business. You want to have an equal playing field with yourselves and your competitors, and of course, add some advantage to that. And a responsive template is certainly something that you should consider for those of you who perhaps don't have one yet. It is kind of table stakes right now, and will help to boost your sales and really cut down that transition rate for people leaving your page, especially on mobile devices if it doesn't render well. So with that, would really encourage you all to consider how responsive design, responsive templates have a place in your business. Jim, if we could bring up the next question now.
Sure. There's a question here about, is there a function at checkout to agree to the terms and conditions? Not at the moment, but we can do those as customizations. They're probably pretty simple customizations, so it is something that we can do as a support request, but we'd like to hear more about this because we're kind of still in the early stages here for finalizing the features for the next version of SiteLink. So if it's something that we could standardize, we're definitely open to doing it. Next question here is about adding blog support. Unfortunately, we won't be looking to adding blog support. We're just sticking to the shopping cart functionality. That is something that you would have to host elsewhere, and that's not going to change in the next version of it.
Thanks, Carmen. We've also got a question around Google Pay and Apple Pay, and if we see these as independent functions or functions through authorized.net's hosted forum. Can definitively say that as we're looking at it now, we expect them to be available through authorized.net's checkout forum. We also had a question around if some of the available customizations are available for all versions of SiteLink. There are some limitations on how far back you are. Right now, we support SiteLink 7.0, 7.3. There's the original version of SiteLink 10 that was not responsive, and then there's the responsive version. All the available customizations are surely available for the responsive version of SiteLink. If you're interested in one of those, open up a support ticket, and we'll take a look at what version and which feature is available for you.
And thank you, everyone. I can see that more questions are coming in. That's great. Really appreciate the interaction here. Jason and Carmen, do we have the next question teed up?
We have a mention of quotes, being able to pull up a quote in MOM and push it to SiteLink for someone to complete their order later. So this has come up a few times, and it is on a list for a future release, but there's still some exploratory steps we need to do there. So that's one that we'll be looking for feedback on from you in the future. But just know that the question around quotes has come in a few times, and that remains on our list for SiteLink. So there's a really good question on from a marketing aspect of what the next version of SiteLink will be called. At the moment, because of the direction of development, we haven't landed on a full name yet. So stay tuned. We'll be happy to take some suggestions. SiteLink 11 may not really stay in step with the fact that MOM is on version 12, but that's something that we'll be nailing down in the coming months.
Yes, we're looking for some help with some names here. The easy thing would be to name it version 12. I realize that maybe be skipping a few numbers in there, but hey, we have version 7, 7.3, 10, and if we skip a couple of numbers, it's really more important about what we're introducing than what we call it. But happy to take some suggestions from everyone. Again, we still have questions coming in, and our team is taking time to just look at the questions and to, think of a thoughtful answers that will be as informative as possible.
There's a question here about fuzzy predictive search. I take that to mean the search autocorrect product names that may be often hard to spell for clients is an example that I have here. That's something that we're actually looking at as a possibility for the next version of SiteLink. We haven't finalized the details there yet, so we'd be interested to hear more information about that. So feel free to send that into support. Let us know what you think.
All right, and see the question here about question. It's written quantity limit on the back order notify me. So for the back in stock emails, and what if 500 people want to be notified, but we only get 100? That's something that we'll want to take more feedback on. It's a pretty good scenario. Currently, the idea is, well, maybe not all 500 will jump to the chance, but this may be another good point where you can modify in the short term, this might be something where you can notify the back in stock email to say, we have some back in stock and only 100, and whether or not you will have more to prompt them to act faster. All right, thank you. I'm actually take a moment to thank you. We do have quite a few more questions coming in, but we want to take a moment to push you back to the survey to continue the conversation here as we wrap up today's presentation. So what you see on screen now are some important links. Again, that will take you to the knowledge base and over to the SiteLINK campaign we did. And finally, back to the slide on the SiteLINK wish list and feedback. For questions that relate to new features or any of the features we discussed today, please use this survey rather than open a support ticket. So we can filter those through a different path and make sure to get back. So once again, I want to thank you all for joining our webinar today and learning a little bit about the future of SiteLINK, learning a little bit about the past of SiteLINK. I'd like to thank all the co-hosts, Jim Cahill, Carmen Manganello, James Classic, and Ian Iwano is always in the background with us, helping us out. Thank you all again. Have a great weekend ahead, and we'll talk to you soon.